Spy Family is one of the most popular anime in recent times, and by quite the long shot too, ranking around 4th or 5th in popularity polls of anime in 2022, which doesn't even account for the second season that released in 2023. It even won quite a few awards from the 2023 Crunchyroll Anime Awards like Best Comedy, Best New Series, and even nomination for Anime of the Year. Fans and media absolutely adore Spy Family and everything that it's about, having merchandise lining the walls in stores across Japan and America. And its popularity isn't even solely due to the anime adaptation, having over 29 million copies of the manga in circulation. Its extreme popularity so quickly after being released must mean that Spy Family is an absolutely amazing story, right? But before we get into that, I would like to take a little moment to play a little game. An idea that was totally not stolen from the NewWorldReview, link to his channel in the description. Anya here is trying to find a bomb that a rebel group has planted to start the war between the East and the West. You must help Anya find which location has the bomb so she can make it back home in time to watch the new episode of Spy Wars. If you succeed, Anya will catch the episode in time. If you fail, the worst fate imaginable will happen, and Anya will miss the new episode, a war will start between the West and the East, and you will be forced to like and subscribe for more anime analysis content like this in your feed. Choose now, and I'll reveal the answer in 3, 2, 1, and it was Chuck E. Cheese of which the bomb was located. If you got it right, huzzah! Anya gets to watch her Spy Wars. However, if you got it wrong, you must like and subscribe as well as comment down below that terrible answer that you picked. Thank you very much, and now, back to the video. Spy Family has a concept that really does need to make you think twice. You have a world-class spy that has been tasked to stop what is essentially World War III, and to do so, he needs to put up a facade of a fake family. So he adopts a child that was experimented on in her youth that gave her telepathy. Then, the spy finds a wife who just so happens to be an extremely powerful assassin that can kill you in a moment's notice. And even later, they adopt a dog that can see the future. And even more so, none of them even know about each other's secret lives, except for Anya, who doesn't say anything because it's exciting. Just an absolutely crazy concept. But even with a concept as crazy as that, the entire anime is pretty chill. Spy Family doesn't put its focus on the absurdity of the situation. Obviously, it's used for some funny moments and situations here and there, but they put the focus on things that are so much more important than just the situation. Things such as Spy Family can be used as a case study on its characters. Not only do they feel like actual people with real emotions and ideals, but their characters are actually able to bounce off of one another and do actually matter to each other. This also doesn't only apply to the main three, but to practically every single other side character as well. Becky, Damien, Nightfall, all characters that are definitely side characters, but each have their own backstories and developments. Since there are so many characters that do matter to each other, I'll only go into the main three for the sake of time. Lloyd Forger is the main man of Spy Family. He's a spy who's actually not even named Lloyd Forger, since that's his alias for his current mission. His codename, however, is the ever so mysterious and completely badass Twilight. Twilight is the best spy for Westalis and their secret service called WISE. He and WISE share the absolute same goal, being keeping the peace between Westalis and Ostania, who have been increasing aggressions with each other in recent times. Twilight doesn't just have the title for best spy for no reason. He's a master of disguise, being able to replicate the appearance and even the voice of absolutely anybody in the world, which pairs perfectly with his hyper-intelligence, allowing him to memorize thousands of documents and information in a very short amount of time. This allowed Twilight to memorize the names and faces of every penguin that an aquarium had to help disguise himself even further as a handler for the penguins for a mission. He's constantly cool and collected, analyzing every possible scenario that can be played out and having a plan for each and every situation that may even arise. He will do absolutely anything for the sake of his mission and his goals, with absolutely nothing that will get in his way. That's all until a small peanut-addicted child came into his life. For a mission relating to keeping the peace between Westalis and Ostania, Twilight has been tasked to create a fake family to disguise himself in Ostania territory, his fake identity being Lloyd Forger, a psychiatrist for a hospital in Ostania. This is when he adopts Anya. Anya is a little orphan girl who has an incredible ability being telepathy. In the anime, we don't actually know too much about her actual situation with this, but she gained those telepathy powers after being a part of an experiment to give children powers, her being a successful subject. However, even with this incredible power and determination to have a loving family, she is just an absolute idiot. I mean, she is absolutely adorable and one of the best characters on the whole show, but God, is she just an idiot. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. She's extremely blunt in what she thinks and says, and she absolutely loves Peanuts and spy shows. She's brave, kind, reckless, and absolutely loves Lloyd as a father. The thing is, Anya is pretty much just a loving child. Everything she does and says is just something that a child does for her family. With the small exception of knowing Lloyd's mission from her telepathy and doing her best to help Lloyd complete his mission, but absolutely is not really helping all that much. Anya's character being the way that she is basically just a blunt, happy, dumb child, which clashes with Lloyd's cool, calm, and collected demeanor by such an extreme margin. These years and years of being a spy, destroying entire criminal organizations, and blackmailing high-profile leaders in countries should have prepared Twilight to be absolutely prepared for anything. But Anya just barges into Lloyd's life and completely changes everything. He makes Twilight do something that is absolutely the worst thing for a spy and a person with Twilight's position to do. He makes him care. And Twilight really does just have a child now. Even though it's only for the sake of the mission, he still has to take care of her as if she were his own. The entire point of adopting Anya was just to complete his mission, and afterwards was fully planning on just abandoning her and continuing his work as he plans. But with simply having to take care of Anya, he's already grown a little softer and more caring to Anya. This shows the absolute most in episode 4 of the first season during the interview for Anya to get into Eden. After some bombarding questions that came from Fatso McGee here that was directly insulting and antagonizing Anya, Twilight lost his cool and nearly attacked the administrator. After everything that he's been through, every mission needed to cover his tracks and stay in disguise. Some insults on a little girl he met weeks ago is what caused him to break character. He has really started to truly care for his fake daughter. This actually starts something that is very interesting about Twilight as a character. In reality, throughout the series, he is two separate characters, Lloyd and Twilight. Lloyd is the caring father for his family, the ruse to keep suspicions low around him so he can complete his mission as Twilight. But throughout the series, we see Lloyd start leaking into Twilight's character. Using the interview incident again, we perfectly see the situation play out, with Twilight losing his cool and breaking character. Before, he really has never shown his emotions to this extent before. Lloyd as a character has affected Twilight as a person. As the series goes on, we do see this leak affect Lloyd more and more. I haven't read the manga yet, I will when the video comes out, but I can only imagine that this leak only appears more blatantly as the story continues. I can't believe I talked about all of this without even talking about Yor at all. While writing this, I just have no real idea where to place her, since she also matters when it comes to Lloyd leaking into Twilight, but I'm not a great writer and I don't know where to really place things, so here she is. Yor is, for lack of a better word, perfection. Look at her. She is precious incarnate. She could stab me and I would apologize profusely for bothering her presence. Sorry about that. Got a little passionate. Yor is a very simple character. She is bashful, caring, and a lovably stupid single woman who is an older sister to Yuri, who is actually an Ostania's Secret Service member. Since both of her parents died when she was very young, she had a huge responsibility of taking care of Yuri, which gave him a sister complex. But since she was so young and couldn't work normally to take care of Yuri, it led to her actually becoming an assassin, a job that she still holds. Yor is actually an extremely skilled assassin at that, having physical combat abilities that are on par, if not better than Twilight's. Because of her growing up with this job, her way of thinking is slightly skewed towards solving problems easily by killing. though she knows that she should not do that. After meeting Lloyd by chance, the two of them actually get married through an arrangement that would benefit both Yor and Lloyd. Lloyd would be married, which would make Anya getting into Eden easier, as it's the perfect nuclear family. And Yor would ease off suspicion of the government, thinking that she might be a spy for not being married for so long. At first, this is just an arrangement of the two of them and had no real feelings between the two of them at all. But of course, as time goes on, we can see that Yor starts to care for Lloyd deeper than their arrangement started. We see this a lot more with the introduction of Frost, a fellow spy of Twilight's from Wise, where we see Yor actually get pretty jealous of Frost being close to Twilight. We have yet to see something actually happen between the two of them, but she has made a huge impact on Lloyd leaking into Twilight's character. While I could go on and on about different characters and how they bond with one another, the specifics are actually not too important to why Spy Family is loved. I know, I just spent the last however many minutes talking about the main three and how they affected one another and how important they are to each other for character development. But in reality, the thing that is actually more liked about Spy Family is just how cute the interactions are and the wholesomeness of the entire show. Getting to see Lloyd open up more and more throughout, and having each super wholesome moment of the three is just extremely enjoyable to watch. We want to see all three of them succeed in their own ways, and watching them each develop and grow closer as the series progresses is just satisfying to watch. It's an extremely important thing that many comedy, family-oriented anime just don't properly show, but Spy Family executed that perfectly. Spy Family is a show that struggles to find its defined genre. It's not strictly a comedy anime, or an action anime, or a romance anime. It's a blend of a bunch of different genres coming into one. Usually, this would cause an anime to stretch super thin and cause it to fall flat on its face. But for Spy Family, it works out extremely well. Spy Family manages to combine its story elements, the family dynamic of the main three, and the incredible action scenes and dramatic scenes that come with them perfectly. Whenever there is an action scene, you're not rushed into it. There are circumstances that have been building up to that scene, or there are things that make that scene viable and realistic in a sort of way. After action scenes, it winds back down to the family dynamic naturally and smoothly. All the while, everything is accompanied by absolutely amazing and fluid animation that makes those action scenes even more powerful and intense. Spy Family is the type of anime that you're able to recommend to pretty much any anime lover, and they are almost guaranteed to fall in love with the characters and the story. The whole show is crafted to perfection, from the characters being lovable and meaningful, to the plot of the story and each of the characters' involvement in it, to the action scenes, the amazing animation, to the genuinely enjoyable and funny comedic moments of the show. Everybody has something they can get from Spy Family, which is why it's just so goddamn good. Thank you again so much for watching. I apologize for the huge gap in videos. I have no excuse, it was just pure writing block and laziness that stopped me flat from writing. I somehow managed to write out a bunch of this in basically a fever dream super late at night, so if things don't connect too well, still blame me, that's not an excuse. One more time, if you enjoyed watching the video, please consider liking and subscribing. Only about 4% of you watching are actually subscribed, and it would really help if you just lightly caressed that subscribe button for me. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time.